Hey YouTube, it's me, John, and I am live. I go live and then I make the social media posts. Let me do that real quick. I hope you all are having a nice day. I'm having a nice relaxing day off with no particular things that I need to get done, but I have been doing, the usual bits I do. Hopefully my sound quality is a little bit better than it had been, because previously I had been using my webcam microphone as a microphone, which is garbage. Considering I've had this lovely stand microphone that you guys can't see because it's just off camera, but it's a lot better quality. And hopefully you guys are, I say you guys a lot, but not, doing like too bad on the hearing my glorious voice scenario that I have set up for you. So for now, we'll just get back into it. I have been working on Shiny Sableye for quite a while. I stopped doing Shiny Sableye for a hot minute just so I could clear my palette. I ended up making a shiny Far-Fetched, which is wonderful, but was not my primary goal. So right now I have a lovely 6IV Italian Ditto from my good friend Cortot, and so every Pokemon I make has a chance of being a 6IV Pokemon now, because I have a 5IV in there right now, or no, I have a 6IV in there right now that is my own personal, which I will put any 6IVs that I get into a box and prepare them for Christmas gifting on Christmas, I guess? That makes sense. So my main strategy right now is, let's actually put it in the right box being focused on. Nope, that is not what we want it. We want it starting at the beginning of my boxes. This is my egg box right now. I've already made an entire box, almost entire box of Sableye, and then started on a second. So this is, of course, I've got 16 boxes set up, prepared to place bred Sableyes into. We will hopefully, before I fill all those up, have a shiny Sableye, and it will be lovely. Lovely, I say. Oh, also, I am, of course, a fan of my music, so rather than let you all deal with silence when I'm not gracing you all with my glorious voice, I'm keeping it up. However, it does seem to result in a lot of copyright hits, so I have to keep kind of muting the post video. So if you're watching this in the post and there is no sound, it's because I actually got around to muting whatever song is playing at whatever time. It's a nice, sweet option that they have to actually mute just the song, which I can't imagine how that is accomplished, but I'm impressed, that's for sure. But so since that is an option, it's great. However, it does take time, and when 12 of the songs on my playlist in a row are all different copyrights, it ends up being I have to go back to it every once in a while and just see what's the next song on the list I need to mute, because it does take a little time for it to change that. It's got to process it each time for each song. And of course, I'm sure the longer the video, the longer the processing time, even though it doesn't really change anything but that one little segment. had a pretty chill day. I just had Ashton the cat over here on my lap for a little bit. He was very loving, despite the fact that he's been not feeling all that great, and we've had to give him antibiotics in the catliest of fashions. He was not cooperative. I'm sure if you've ever owned a cat and tried to give it medicine, it's not pill form, it's liquid form, so it's a little bit easier, but we basically had to burrito him, like wrap him up in a towel, and then kind of poke it into his mouth and squirt. And the entire time he was not pleased. The antibiotic stuff they got going on, it smells like bananas, which I can't imagine is really all that tasty for a cat, but it definitely brings me terrible flashbacks from 99 Bananas, so I can't imagine it would be all that pleasant for him. I don't know why they made it banana flavored. Oh, hey, IDK! What's up? Welcome back! How you doing? Did you ever manage your Milcery? I still haven't managed my Sableye. Also, I have a better mic now, so I'm not so robot-y sounding. It's the same mic I had, but it's actually, you know, using it instead of accidentally using my webcam microphone the entire time. Oh, egged. Oh, nope. The boost. I use it too much, and it gets me a little bit further than I want to go. But we still have until I think the 23rd to do Ashton's little antibiotic squirt, and it's twice a day, so it's real rough. Still haven't gotten it, but I'm stubborn, so I won't give up. I believe in you. We have this. Let's see, any 6 IVs? No. Sad. Keep on keeping on. Yeah. Definite chill stream. Chill day, chill stream. Honestly, just about every day when I have it off, it's a nice relaxing day, because I don't have to go into work. I'm getting tangled on myself. If I don't have to go into work, it's immediately a great day. There's always the, like, overarching, well, I gotta get this real life stuff done that is important, but it's usually not too stressful. That's nice. I did have some stress when I was doing budgeting, because budgeting, it just makes you sad. Like, you see what amount of money you would normally make in a month, and then it slowly decreases as you add in bills. And then, after a while, you're like, do I even have money left? No. The answer is no. I have the house to myself. That's a nice thing, too. I mean, it's a little bit lonely, but I always have the internet. So, the internet will keep me company. Crystal and Maya hopefully will be home tonight. but they are actually in the hospital. Crystal was having a pretty bad gall attack, and so they, like, early a couple mornings ago, were like, well, it's bad. Let's take this to a doctor. And apparently it resulted in, hey, we might want to do surgery, but it's not necessarily now that this has to happen. And I was thinking, good, because you guys are about to go on Christmas vacation, and they're thinking, no, we don't want that to be later, because later it's gonna, like, insurance will charge us for it. It has to be before the end of the year. So they pushed to have it done, and I guess had it done today. I already heard back from her, so it went okay. But she's in the hospital for at least till this evening, possibly till tomorrow. Oh, good music, by the way. I have been sort of semi-removing and adding to the playlist that I use, just because I would like to avoid YouTube giving me copyright strikes whenever possible, but I'm not, like, putting that much effort into it. I'm not, like, making it a like, drastic changes to my playlist. I'm just sort of taking out anything that YouTube deems copyright strikeable, and then adding stuff in that I like either way. Yeah, happy ending, because they didn't have to pay nearly as much, and also the problem got taken care of. That feels like that was a lot faster to hatch all those than last time. Ooh, 6 IV! Beautiful! Christmas box for you. We'll go ahead and switch out one of these guys. I do want these to all be 6 IVs. Some of them are just in here because... oh, I have a few 6 IVs already in Ponyta, but they're in here because they are, like, version exclusives, that sort of thing. But once Christmas hits, I will be Wonder Trading all of these on Christmas morning. It'll be a nice surprise for whoever does Wonder Trades on Christmas. Maybe it'll be some youngster who got Christmas present, or perhaps an old fogey who is just like, well, kids are busy, I'm gonna play some Pokemon. Either way, it's a good time. It's always better to Wonder Trade things that people will actually want to. Early on, when I was just, like, starting the game, I was Wonder Trading kind of junk just so I could Wonder Trade at all. Surprise Trade. I keep calling it Wonder Trade because I think that's what they called it before, but same meaning. But it's nice to trade something that someone might want that maybe you don't necessarily. Yeah, helping people out is a noble goal at all times. Oop. I did not want to boost, I wanted to talk to you. Why is it saying that? Nope, everything's fine, don't worry. Little to nothing is on fire. I know I've heard this a few times. just catches me off guard every time. So it's getting closer to Christmas, and with Christmas comes New Year. And for New Year's, I have no plans for the holiday exactly, but I do have that, like, well, I should sort of think about resolutions, right? New Year's resolutions. One of the things that I was thinking of doing is starting next year, like, I've been very bad about, like, ever watching movies, honestly, especially in theaters. So, like, have a once a week set myself to watch a movie that is particularly talked well about that I had missed out on watching in the past. Movies like I never saw Toy Story 3. Have not seen either Infinity War movie. A lot of movies. I just have to make myself a list and just sort of watch one a week, and I'll have 52 by the end of the year, so I should be a little bit more caught up with pop culture. Also, my roommates have Netflix, so I could probably bum that off them to do some of that action. Crystal keeps saying, hey, you want me to put Netflix password on your computer? And I keep being like, yeah, and then never actually, like, sitting down with her and doing it. Oh, here we go. You don't know the power of the dark side. How appropriate. Speaking of movies, the new Star Wars is coming out, right? So that's going to be one that I'm going to have to catch up on. I'm not going to be able to catch it right now. I've already done my, like, going to a theater this like 6-month period, so it's probably not going to happen, but I'll catch it, like, later in the year when it ends up being on Netflix or something. Oh, also, literally all of the new movies I need to catch up on, because I only saw the very first of the new sequels, and then after Rey is, like, handing Luke the lightsaber, I have no idea what happens, so I gotta figure out what's going on with that. I've got to watch the Solo movie, Rebel 1, I believe was the other one. But, like, the side movies, right? They're not, like, super important, but they are, like, Star Wars movies, and I kind of want to watch them just for the pop culture value. I was also thinking of doing some kind of, like, as far as YouTube goes, like doing like a 5-minute live blog thing where I just go live for 5 minutes to say how my day went, and if anybody happens to pop in that 5 minutes, yay. If not, I have a sort of a live diary sort of situation. I don't know, 5 minutes seems short, but 15 minutes seems too long. 10 minutes is also probably too long. I don't know. How long should something like that be? It's just me saying, hey, this is John, and this is today's state of me. Partly because I like keeping a diary, but partly because I thought it would be an interesting little project. I'm honestly uncertain, because this is certainly a remix of some sort, but will will I get a copyright strike from Disney themselves since it does seem to be mentioning things about about Star Wars? Who knows? I know it's all bot done, so if it's not like their specific algorithm of sound, they probably won't catch it or care. But I don't know. It's like they use all of their audio clips to mix, so they might see something in there that they don't like. Who knows? Oh, did I actually? I switched them out, right? I did not. I was so good at doing that. I do it so often. Already got an entire box that is just eggs. Beautiful. If you two could copy or strike anything that for no reason they would, yeah. I mean, it's not like it's hurt me anything really. People are not able to watch, like the copyright strikes I have so far are like people in like this list of countries that is not America, but are like not English speaking. That I'm aware of. I mean, everybody like has a chance of speaking English. There's a lot more outside of the U.S. that speak English as a second language, at least. But it's not like, I don't know. It's not like the main target. I don't know. It's complicated, I guess. But it is losing possible eyes, so I do kind of want it to be not the case. That, like, Bolivia doesn't get to watch my videos for some reason. Like, it's very oddly specific. I guess each country has its own laws, so it makes sense, but it just seems like a random assortment of countries where my video is now blocked. Or is until the music that is copyright strikes is muted, at least. I ordered off of Amazon Outer Worlds, and that's going to be coming soon. I'm looking forward to playing that. Everybody's been talking up that one. I'm a big Fallout fan, so like earlier Fallouts for sure. I actually didn't really like Fallout 76 because it missed out on the core concepts of Fallout by not having any NPCs. But everything I've heard about Outer Worlds is that it is, you know, I mean, it's the team that made Fallout good, right? So it's gonna be good. Like Fallout 76, everything about it felt like Fallout, but missing that important bit of NPC interaction. And it certainly is Fallout. I would not ever say it's not, because of the environments and because of the like player interactions themselves, because they are just, everyone kind of picked out their roles. Some people became raiders, some people were trying to be the what do you call them, the dudes with the suits, not like suits like business suits, like suits of armor. Enclave. No, not Enclave. Is it Enclave? The Brotherhood. The Brotherhood of Steel. Holy crap, I couldn't remember that. I'm super bad at remembering names and places and things. It's one of the reasons I was never particularly good at history, but I can math something severe. I'm pretty good at the maths. I've kind of kept myself purposefully in the dark on the actual story of Outer Worlds, so I'm gonna kind of be going in blind, seeing exactly what's going on. I just know the general genre and basic idea of the game, being that it is sort of a Fallout in space, sort of like feel to it. So that's all I'm going in knowing, and and hearing that people liked it, and it's gonna be, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably live stream that entirely. That way we can all enjoy it together as a family. Yeah, I'm not super worried about spoilers. I've never been big on like, oh, you ruined it for me, you ruined the surprise, because even when somebody tells you exactly what happens, it's still like you don't get that visual aspect to it. You don't get the build-up that comes along with watching the show, right? Seeing the movie, reading the book. Like, it still hits you. So it's never been a like, oh no, you told me that X character dies, now I can't enjoy the book. No, it's still gonna be a good book, right? It's just, I appreciate that other people don't feel the same, so I try to avoid it, avoid spoiling it. It just doesn't really hit me as hard that, oh no, I knew this was gonna happen, because a lot of times I'm trying to postulate what is happening as it is, or what's going to happen as well, and sometimes I'm right, and that doesn't ruin it. Ooh. Is this the Borderlands song? I think it is. That's another game that I have. I need to play the Borderlands 3 game that I have sitting on top of my PlayStation right now. Like, it's just been sitting there, and I stopped playing it to play Pokemon, and I haven't looked back since. There's a lot of good music based on video games. Not like just video game music, but people who are fans of video games who make music. There's just so much to choose from. Pokemon is life. Another laugh now, but his no time to smell. He used to watch over the fire and the stone. Wait, did I do it again? I did it again, didn't I? Yep. Awesome. Oh no, I gotta watch myself, you know? So corrosive, don't get close if it's explosive. Flash, gang, caustic crew, simmer and smoke in electric blue. Hiss goes to radio, vicious, malicious, a voice we. On the plus side, after a while, I will just have so many eggs that I will have to stop actually collecting the eggs, and that'll save me some time. Then I can just hatch them all without actually grabbing new eggs. It'll save me some amount of heartache. Oh man. Scooter was a pretty good character. He was fun. Ellie's got a lot of shoe to fill, because I think she is the sort of character replacement for Scooter in the newer games. But she's a good character. I feel like it's not fair to say that she's replacement, because she's her own character. She just takes the part of the vehicle, like, operator, the person who summons the vehicles for you. The mechanic, I suppose, is the word I was looking for there. That's another thing I plan to do for the new year, is actually make a proper, I guess, schedule, but for my own self, to plan to when I go to, like, maybe conventions or have a vacation. 'Cause I don't really plan out vacations terribly well. I just kind of like, oh, you guys want to go to do a thing? I'll go with you. And ask for the day off a couple weeks in advance, and then, yay, I went to a place. Neat. I think this time I'm going to be like, well, in August this convention is happening. I want to do that. I'm going to plan for it now. That sort of thing. Haven't actually sat down and done that, so I have no idea what I'm talking about just yet, but, you know, could be fun. I'm sure there are at least a handful of conventions. I know there's four-ish major conventions for anime and video games that happen in this area, so definitely a thing that I could do without having to leave the town. Then, of course, the girls had been talking about wanting to go to Yosemite for a good long while. If I talk with them about it, maybe we can set a time of the year and we can go do that. Have like a nature-y excursion. Something where I can take a bunch of pictures of Yosemite and people would be like, man, Yosemite's really pretty. I know that on, I can't remember, I think it's like Our Landscapes or something like that, there's a cover band. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. There is a all-inclusive just ban on please don't post pictures of Yosemite. We know it's beautiful. If everyone posts pictures of Yosemite, that's all we're gonna see. Which I understand, but I haven't been there, so I'm gonna take a lot of pictures and then I'm gonna post them. Not to there, but to like social media, all that stuff. It'll be fun. honestly kind of thinking of what other things I can do with Pokemon. I know that the the major things I've been seeing other people doing are like max raid battles, um, like exploiting the date mechanics to get like shiny Gmax stuff to show up, and then having people in chat join them so that they can get a chance to catch one. That sort of stuff. But I was thinking like other options, fun stuff for me to do, because I love to grind, is to make a living dex of entirely 6 max IV Pokemon. That's the sort of thing that is like not just the basics of... Uh-oh, did it already... At some point that happened and I didn't notice it again. I just sort of kept going. Oh well. But it's not just the basic, like, make a Pokedex, living Pokedex, but also make a living Pokedex with all of the IVs maxed out. So that could be fun. It's different, special, and I like to be all of those things, different and special. So we got another 6 max IV score. Let's see, I can't see you. Are you? All of these guys except for you. Yeah, okay, we're good. Why did I have you in? Oh, right, because of Pokerus. Like, I don't super get into like the verses in Pokemon. I probably should give it a shot, see what I can do, but it's so complicated and I just don't have the like energy. I'm real low energy guy. I just, when I see all of the various like, okay, well this combo works this way, I'm like, that takes a lot of thought to put into just figuring that out, and I don't think I can get myself to do that. Like, find the the individual Pokemon that has this combo of moves and this this ability that works so well together. But grinding is mindless, and I'm really good at mindless. It's not true. It's not entirely mindless. You do kind of have to know efficient means of doing the things that you're doing over and over again. You have to figure it out in ways of making the grind shorter. I try to be adorable whenever possible. Like in clicker games. If you play clicker games, you know that it's not just about, okay, getting a certain like motion done over and over again. Sometimes it's about, okay, well, these two aspects of the clicker game interact thusly, and will create a multiplicative, that was really difficult to say, multiplicative benefit, so you'll get way more out of it if you do it this way. I did it, right? I still have eggs. Okay, we're good. I'm starting to doubt myself. That's no good. Reality is not something I keep an eye on all the time, unfortunately.
Try Mustang.
I'm about to color in Milcery's eyes and just have a shiny, just write it on the TV screen, just right spot. You're perfect. Get a marker. It'll be perfect. That's kind of like when I got the shiny Farfetch'd, I was kind of nonplussed about it, just because the coloration difference is not that much. But when I looked up how the Surfetch'd looks, it's way different and more obvious. So it's worth it, I would say. Though I understand the trauma of having to struggle to get a shiny. I have this Sableye, and it will never be shiny, some say, but I do not believe them. I will make it happen. Oh, except then I'll press the wrong buttons and everything's ruined! You must never give up hope. I'll even draw the little star next to the name. Perfect! And whenever you throw the Pokeball, you gotta do the sound effect. Pachoo! Make it super rare and just hold up like some squares next to it when it shows up.
Well, Bill, what would you say the blues is?
That is one of the like aspects of shinies that I am questioning their judgment on. They added a new the square shiny, like they have the square sparkles when they show up, and whilst I appreciate that it is a difference, I feel like they should be making these differences at least somewhat notable, because I wouldn't even have realized that was a difference otherwise. Like, other than having seen, Ultra Shiny, other than having seen people bring it up in like articles and stuff, I wouldn't even have noticed. Like, I feel like they should make shinies with colorations that are not just sort of tinted gold, which seems to be the trend, but sometimes make them like rainbow or something actively special, because gold doesn't always work out for Pokemon.
What's the blues to you?
Not all that glitters is gold, as they say. But it seems like a lot of the colorations for shiny Pokemon are gold, and that's sad. Oh, okay, well, I guess we're doing this? So we're on box number 3 here, that's nice. We got... we'll do that. Yeah, shiny is a shiny. At that point, when you've got a square shiny, you're just like, wow, alright, that's cool. I'm not gonna go out my way to look for that, because it's not, like, that much of a difference. I definitely appreciate the fact that they didn't make it like a stat difference, right? Because if it was a stat difference, everyone would be hunting shinies. Oh, excuse me. That guy got angry at me. He was coming for me. You saw him. You guys saw it. It was self-defense. But if they made a stat difference, people, like, would be going after it despite it. Like, even if it's rare, they would go after it because they're competitive, viable. Like, if you're making something that's going to have a stat boost because of its rarity, people are going to put more effort into getting it. Now it's just rare for the sake of being rare and looking cool.
Sweetness of your smile helps away with all of my fears. If it should all go wrong, my life succumb to tears. I've never been so deep into anyone else but you.
Imagine running and being mad because the shiny you found wasn't ultra shiny. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that would be, like, I cannot imagine anyone. Obviously, there's someone who's going to be the ultra collector, but I cannot imagine anyone going for the square shinies, like, in a like serious form. It would have to be like over a long period of time just because of how rare it is. Like if I've got a shiny, but it's not a good shiny, it's just a like regular shiny. I cannot imagine someone feeling that way. That's ridiculous. I didn't. Okay. Keep watching myself. I'm going to do it anyways, but I'm just every now and then if I check myself, I may not as often wreck myself. It would be pretty like this is first world problems, right? Oh, my shiny isn't ultra shiny. Life has no meaning. My shiny is just regular shiny. Does the symbol show up differently? Like, I know it's got the stars for regular shinies. Is there a different symbol, or is it just the regular shiny symbol in the not Pokedex entry, but in the box entry? Because it would kind of be okay. Here we go. It kind of would be important to notice the difference before you like threw it as a Pokeball, right? Like you have to run it at all on a team and then throw it out to see if it's shiny and square shiny, and that would be really inconvenient. I don't know. I haven't looked that deeply into it, so could be that it has a different symbol. Oh. Some Ken Ashcorp, good times. Not sure. That makes two of us, so. Okay, we're doing it right this time. I'm going to actually change them out right away. Nice. A lot of my New Year's resolutions are going to revolve around planning, like the whole budgeting thing. I've already actually set up a budget for my next year. That's a nice, like, pre-planning good New Year's resolution to make myself, you know, more money conscious, that sort of thing. But also like meal planning. I don't like to cook. It's not that I really can't cook. I mean, that's part of it too, because since if you don't cook, you don't know how to cook. Like, you could know how to cook and then not cook for a goodly period of time. You're not going to know how to cook anymore. It's not one of those things where you're like riding a bike and you can always ride a bike. But like, I need to sit down and be like, okay, this is the meals I'm going to have. It'll also help with the budget thing. This is what I'm going to cook. This is how I'm going to spend my time in cooking. This is what I'm going to prep to put in my fridge. I gotta actually think ahead of time. Saving is important. It is the reduce part of the reduce, reuse, recycle. If you save, that's kind of part of it. But yeah, so I was kind of like, well, let's take a look. Let's start like putting together a list of recipes, and I'm like, sandwich? End of list. Shoot. All right. Well, I mean, there are lots of things that I could, but like, they don't show up in my brain. So I'm just like, what am I supposed to cook? What can I cook? I've forgotten all the things. A while back, I had made quite a tasty red beans and rice, Cuban red beans and rice, because there's the Cuban red beans and rice versus like the New Orleans red beans and rice, and there is a huge difference. And it went well. In the end, it was edible, and it was good. It was not bad, but it was like through the process, I was like, well, it would save me a little bit of money, just a little bit of money, if I used dried beans instead of canned. And I'd never really worked with dried beans before, so if you haven't done anything with dried beans, they require a little bit more prep time. I did not know this. And of course, reading on the back of the bag, it's like, nah, don't worry about it. Just boil us for an hour and everything will be just fine. That is a lie. It was a dirty, bold-faced lie. But I did boil them, and they were basically just hard little rocks. And it was just, I'm like, I'm going to eat this and be sad. And mine and Crystal were like, no, don't do that. Just use our slow cooker and set them in the slow cooker for like I think it ended up being another 4 hours in a slow cooker, and it came out just right after that. So I wouldn't say like I give them more credit for the end of that meal being edible than but it was still like a eye-opening experience. Okay, hey, you got dried beans. That's gonna be a day or two of just steeping them, or else you're gonna have to try some other more complicated techniques. And I had never really used a slow cooker, so that was one of those that's, I mean, they're not exactly like complicated. You have a thing, you're gonna cook it for a long period of time, toss it in, walk away, come back, house is on fire, it's fine, it's a rental. John, it's not a rental, we own it. Well, yeah, but I rent, it's fine. There is, you're right, a lot of good recipes on the internet. I do have to be careful for those though, right? Because they don't all like operate on the person who's reading this recipe has no idea what they're doing. And oftentimes I have no idea what I'm doing. So it will occur occasionally that I have a recipe in hand and I'm reading it, and as I'm reading it, they're like, after 30 seconds do this, and I'm like, well, reading through this, it took me more than 30 seconds to get from the point where I started this to now it's on fire. That's a problem. I don't want it to be on fire. I think is that, let me keep reading to make sure. Yep, no, it's not supposed to be on fire. But so I had this problem actually with the red beans and rice again. The first part of it, you're cooking a little bit of the early ingredients, the tomatoes and that sort of thing, but you don't cook it for very long. You just warm it basically. And I did not realize this. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. but I'm just gonna do it because that's what the recipe says. And then I read further into the recipe, and they're like, yeah, just take it off after it's warmed. And I'm like, well, that's important to know. Well, I'm just gonna scrape this off the bottom of the pan and see what I can salvage. It still tastes okay. I mean, it's a little caramelized. It's probably fine. I also have a lovely recipe from my grandmother for flan, speaking of caramel, and I kind of want to try that one again. I did it for, not last Thanksgiving, how long ago was it? It had to have been a couple of years. No, actually, I think it was last Thanksgiving, because it was still here in Orlando, and I had only just moved here 2 years ago, so it had to either been last year or the year before. Either way, I made flan. It looked wonderful in the pan, but when you make flan, the last step is to flip the flan, because the caramel's all on the bottom, and when you flip it, the caramel becomes on the top layer, and then it just sort of drips, and it's beautiful and lovely. Well, so flipping the flan, the smart thing to do would be to put a plate on it and then flip it. That's the smart thing to do. And you're saying to yourself, oh no, because you see me and you're like, oh, he didn't do the smart thing, did he? No, I did not. But in my defense, the thing that we made the flan in was not plate-shaped, so probably wouldn't have worked that well, because I think it was a little bit bigger than the plate that we had, so we couldn't really find a plate that it would flip on well enough. And what we ended up doing was flipping it into a baking pan that was just slightly not wide enough for me to get the entire flan pan into. And so it dropped about an inch into this pan, which was enough for the entire flan to just explode. Like, it shrapneled. There was flan bits all in this pan in just sort of a flan contusion. It was still delicious because it was still flan. In its defense, it was still flan. But visually, it was not really appealing. It was not my most beautiful flan. I mean, it was my most beautiful flan because it was literally the only flan I've ever really made. But it was not the best looking flan by far. It could have been better. It looked a little bit better before I flipped it. I too found the humor in the situation when it happened. It was one of those where it's like, okay, this is a disaster, but I mean, what you gonna do? Somebody get the turkey out of the oven. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving, and it's gonna involve this exploded flan. You don't get an offense for making flan explode. Give me some credit. I did not make it explode. It chose to explode. I gave it the option, and it decided explosion was the only real option for itself.
When you jump in the line, rock your body on time. Say jump in the line.
I had no control over the physics of the situation, except for the parts where I did have control, in which case I guess then it might have been my fault a little bit. Oh, that's this song. It sort of reminds me of was it? I don't think it was this exact song. The Beetlejuice movie, which they are apparently planning a sequel, or at least perhaps a remake in the future. So that's something I'm interested in seeing. trying to piece it in my head. The song that they used in that movie, it was, oh man, it's gonna drive me bonkers. Because I'm hearing this song and it's reminding me of it, but I don't think it was this exact song.
Rock your body on time. When you jump in the line, rock your body on time.
Daylight Come and They Wanna Go Home. That song. That's the one that was in there. And it might be the same song, but it just has that same genre.
You rock your body, I mean so. Right and left in the tempo. Can't you feel that sensation? Jump in the air, come down, so won't you?
Like, there's a lot of like Beetlejuice news in recent history that I was hearing. They had the Beetlejuice movie that's gonna be made, as well as the new Universal Park is going to have a horror section, and in that horror section they're going to have a show in which Beetlejuice is the host, which is a weird choice, but I'm okay with it. I mean, horror, he is definitely a horror of some sort. But I guess he's like scary in that like he's still kind of friendly kind of way. Though I guess I'm sort of tainted because I watched the cartoon. The movie, he was a lot more of a scary individual, because I guess he was, trying to like force the main character to marry him, which was weird. But in the cartoon, he's like, they're just friends. How are we doing? Have I got a bunch of living Pokemon? Yes, I do. What I wanted in my box was the living Pokemon. What I wanted in my party was the breakfast. Let's trade out all of these living Pokemon for the breakfast eggs. We will get somewhere with this. One day. I wonder if I should try like doing a speed run, Pokemon speed run. I could at least do it just for the sake of getting to the end and having an extra Master Ball and all the other like random legendaries to trade away and that sort of stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy. That's another, but that is another option, is for me to just do speed runs of the game. That would be an entertaining use of it. I could do it in foreign languages, like Cortoth was doing, just so that I could have foreign evolution, or not foreign evolutions, but foreign iterations of various Pokemon to make it easier for shinies. Although I already have the 6IV Max Shiny Ditto that is Italian, that'll work just fine for that. I could do it in foreign languages for the sake of getting the foreign languages in the Pokedex. That'd be pretty neat. So I know we got, let's see here. I've got quite a few just for Ditto alone, I think. Yep, German, Italian, Chinese, and English. I'll have to... That sounds like a rough grind as well, as just getting all of the languages for every Pokemon. Though the fact that I could just do an entirely separate account and trade it to myself makes it a little bit easier. I also have more poker, so I'll be trying the egg hunt after I find this mill stream. Ooh. My chairs always squeak. I don't know what it is. I think it's just something about like an inherent property of me that whenever I have a chair, it's gonna squeak. It's just a nature I have. I cause chairs to squeak. They go a squeak. No matter how long I own them. If I have them for a week or if I have them for several years, they squeak. Doesn't matter the quality of the chair, does not matter the make or model of the chair. Could be a like one of those folding chairs. I'll make it squeak. Could be a like a throne. It's gonna squeak. Maya's description of it is that certain people are cursed, not in the like mystical sense, but in the sense that whatever way that they interact with technology, or in my case chairs, always results in the same outcome, and it's just such a subtle difference that no one will ever notice what I'm doing differently, myself included, to cause this strange phenomenon to occur over and over again.
Here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low-down hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest friend. Minnie had a heart as big as a whale.
Oh, that was all of my Pokemons saying, "I love you" or "help me" in chair language. My chair is just screaming, "End me, please." Okay, we got one more 6 IV. Beautiful. Okay. I might actually start emptying out this 5 IV box and replacing them with 6 IVs. But that's for later, I think. We'll worry about that when the time comes. Oh man, all that talk about food is getting me all hungry.
Here's a story about Minnie
Now the real trick is convincing myself that I need to go and make something and not just go out and get some fast food, which is honestly what's going to happen. I'm going to go out and get some fast food, but I'm going to convince myself for a little while that that's not the thing that I should do. Maybe I can cook some rice and mix some ground beef into it to make some kind of ground beef and rice concoction. Maybe put some tomato-based sauce in it. Eventually I will come up with some kind of recipe that will involve an actual meal. I just keep adding random stuff to it. It'll eventually be a meal. That's how food works, right? You're just gonna keep putting stuff in the pot and eventually it's a meal. I love that guy. He's always just right in the way of my bike path. That guy is also, like, cosplay goals. 100% would love to cosplay that guy. The Cosmos, I can't remember what they're called. Something Cosmos trainer. Okay, so go get a chef hat, and it will fill you with this drive to cook. It will encourage you to cook more. Like, Kirby, right? Whatever hat he wears. No, that's not Kirby. I mean, I guess technically, it's whenever he swallows somebody, he gets a different, like, helmet or hat. But, I feel like there is a character of some sort whose job is dependent on what hat they're wearing, and I can't remember. Or I could go the Kirby route. I could still go the Kirby route and like go find and swallow whole an entire chef and become a chef. That's the trick, right? You just eat people to gain their powers. I think that's how Hannibal worked. No, Hannibal was more of a like eat people because that is my design. Wait, that's not right. That was Will. Oh man, I need to watch that full series. To be fair, Kirby is kind of a horrifying concept in general. Like, all these adorable creatures, and Kirby just ingests them to become more powerful. And he's the good guy. Chef Lajonzi. Yes. That is I. I am the Halo guy, Master Chef. Chef Ramsay is shaking right now. I understand. Most chefs would shake in terror at my cooking, I'm sure. Like 3-4 days ago. Oh, sorry, I'm still hungry, so I'm still thinking food. And now I'm reminded about 3-4 days ago, Crystal brought home a tub of pickled eggs. If you've never had pickled eggs, they probably are not appealing to most people until you've had them, and they are the most delicious thing in the world. They're just like beer snacks, right? They're salty and vinegary, and they're an egg, so you know everything your body needs. But like, she brought them and she was like, if you want some, you can have some. And I'm like, I'll have maybe one. So I finished off the entire tub, and I don't think she actually got any. Not like in one day, obviously. I finished it this morning. But 3-4 days for a tub of vinegar eggs. Which, again, doesn't sound very appealing. Sounds like a terrible idea. Like chug an entire gallon of milk all at once, kind of terrible idea. But it was real good. Like, it's one of those, like, I'm not sure why I'm eating these. I'm full, but I'm going to eat them. Sounds good? Well, that's good then. For me, it's like one of those that never really looked good until I had them, and then it was the best thing. It was just absolutely wonderful. But it's also like a snack food, right? You're not supposed to eat like 12 like Gaston over here eating 4 dozen eggs, but all pickled. I'm gonna need to go to the store later and buy another jug of those, because one that I will not touch because those were hers and I was not intending to eat all of them. But it's really easy to do because she has not been here. I'll hopefully have gotten it and replaced it by the time she gets back. I don't know why I thought for some reason that I had a bunch of already hatched Pokemon that I was running around with, but I didn't, so that's good. I was not wasting my efforts. Will be replaced, yes. No one will know. There is certainly no video evidence of me stating exactly the crime I committed, right? Shush. It's okay. Whatever music is playing will cause my video to get muted, so it's perfectly fine. Thank goodness for copyright strikes. I'm not sure what's going on here. The ending of this song seems to peter out strangely. Oh, guess it wasn't the end. Never mind then. I don't know what to believe anymore. My life is a lie. Oh, here we go. This is gonna be it. I've got a good feeling. We're getting shinies out of this batch of eggs. This batch of eggs, it was very much just hanging out in the background, just acting like nothing was going on, but it's definitely got a shiny in it. Definitely got a shiny in. I mean, obviously not the first two. The first two were just like a distraction from where the real shiny is in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th egg. And it could have been the 3rd. We'll see. It wasn't the 3rd. It turns out it wasn't the 3rd. I should have realized that. That was obvious in retrospect. but now we're looking at the 4th, and that one, I got a good feeling. I got it right here, just above the nips. I got a good feeling. I must have mistaken that. Must have been a twinge. It's definitely the 5th one though. 5th one. That's gonna be the one with the shiny Pokemon, specifically Sableye. It's gonna have it. I must have miscalculated. I've got to work those numbers out again. Clearly, we are not in shiny territory. It'll have to be the next group of eggs. But at least in this one, we have no 6 IVs. Dang. Never mind. Okay. Oh. And we're moving over one more box. We got a lot of eggs. Buddy boy. We are full of eggs. That sounds like a horrible idea, Brain. Why did you think of that? New Pokemon stream idea. Eat 1 pickled egg per egg hatched while shiny hunting. I will probably not walk away from that one alive. It's like that take a shot when drinky game, but instead pickled eggs. And either way, it's gonna end with me being vomitous, I'm sure. Make sure it's not Crystal's pickled eggs. Of course, no. I would never eat Crystal's pickled eggs. That would be horrible. Why would anyone say such a thing? That's not something I would do. No, absolutely not. Maybe I should get 2 jugs of pickled eggs, just in case. It might not be a bad idea. I probably wouldn't do the thing that I'm doing right now, which causes me to have 5 hatched eggs all at once whenever I do end up hatching things, because that would be pretty rough, eating 5 pickled eggs in rapid succession. I would still do it. I'm not sure why I'm saying this. I would 100% eat 5 pickled eggs non-stop. Blah, 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 blah. Like a snake, just swallow them whole. So right, I never even heard of Crystal having pickled eggs. I don't know why I was sick. Must have been one of those false memories. I get them all the time. I understand. It's fine. Like where I had this false memory where my eggs that I had in my inventory right now were hatched. I don't know why I thought that just now, but I double checked and I was wrong. Maybe I can beat some world record for eating pickled eggs. I don't know. I guess I could use the power of the internet to search what the world record for eating pickled eggs is, but I feel like I would regret that information. I would look at the number and be like, oh, that's all. Man, I feel bad about myself. My ability to eat pickled eggs is record breaking. Actually, I'm doing it. We're looking it up right now. World record pickled egg eating. That was like, it filled out the search for me. That's a concern. A toothless dad has smashed a Guinness World Record. I'm gonna have to read this one. I'm reading it. We're doing a live reading right now. A toothless dad has smashed a Guinness World Record for eating 3 pickled eggs in the quickest. Okay, now I'm confused. Only 3, but he did it quickly. I see. Okay. Terry Nugent, 56, didn't crack under the pressure as he cleared his plate in an impressive 22.35 seconds, easily beating the current 34.5 seconds record. So, unemployed Terry of Stone Street in Petham has always had a passion for the vinegary snack, but decided to hatch a plan and scrambled the Gazette to cover his unusual record attempt. There's so many egg puns in this, it's painful. The father of one said, "I've eaten pickled eggs ever since I can remember. When I was about 5 or 6, my dad would come home from the pub and give me a packet of salt and vinegar crisps and a couple of pickled eggs. About 2 years ago, I decided to have a go at the world record, and the first time I did it was in 30 seconds. And every time I did it, I got faster and faster." This is an interesting life story of a man who'd eat pickled eggs really fast. Okay. It's not quite what I was looking for. I was looking for most pickled eggs eaten. Not fastest. Why fastest? It's just an... And it is, like, specifically 3 pickled eggs. This is weird. Life is strange. Oh, wait, here's it. Here's in the first ever World Hard-Boiled Egg Eating Championship. Nope, that's no good. That's not the same. I mean, they are hard-boiled eggs, but they have to be pickled. It's a different thing. I wonder, is it just like, perhaps there is a like body safety issue. I wonder if like right, you can't have a water drinking competition, because if you drink too much water, you will like overhydrate and die. Weirdness to that situation. Like there's a lot of safety standards you have to perform if that's the case. It's like, body is a strange thing, and some things, if you eat too much of them, they will kill you. I can imagine vinegary pickled eggs with salt in them being what they are, though hot dog contests exist. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I could still do it. Listen, I will risk life and limb to eat pickled eggs. Hopefully, I don't, like, risk actual limbs. That would be uncomfortable, losing an arm to pickled eggs. I would have to explain that, and, like, people would be confused by my explanation, that's for sure. Like, I got this gout from pickled eggs eaten. I will do my best not to die of pickled eggs. It will be on my top 10 list of things to try not to do, is die by pickled eggs. You just see me on stream. I've got the stapled arm of the sleeve over here. 118 is too many pickled eggs. Like, that is... I don't know. I mean, I'm just making stuff up at this point. I don't know if it actually is dangerous, but I could imagine it be a problem. not meant to be putting eggs in this box. I have dishonored myself. Shame on me. Let's go ahead and move these somewhere else. This is perfect. Nice. It's a good little spot for them. Oh dear. I'm getting... so I'm a part of a group chat amongst friends and folks who come to visit, called No Hangover Till, and the year changes every year, but the chat stays the same. And it appears that chat has become active again, which usually means that someone is planning something. I'm scared. As you can probably guess from the name of the chat, no hangover means there's going to be drinking involved. I don't drink often, and therefore I am not by any stretch one of the people who can handle his liquor amongst my friend group. I'm a, like, 2 beers and I'm done kind of guy, which usually means that I'm a cheap drunk. Just be careful, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of me. I'm generally either I'm the DD or I am sloshed. That I have not got a good middle ground for that. I'm kind of curious. Let's see if it's anything exciting. Oh, this is stuff that I cannot take part in. It's going the other way, actually. People who we normally would have coming to visit us are in Northwest Florida, and they are therefore going to have folks visiting family in that area, so they're talking about that. They're gonna go to, like, Bamboo Sushi, which sounds like a good time. They have a sake bomb there called the Spirit Bomb because it involves a beer called Goku. Also, one of the chefs there, actually no, he's no longer their chef there because he moved, but one of the chefs that used to work there was a man by the name of Hartwell, and he played the role of Omega Hero, who was a character in one of the folks. They had a mobile game called Omega Hero, and that was fun. I don't know if it's even still, like, available or anything like that. It was very much a, like, decade ago or more sort of thing. And that feels kind of weird. Like, I'm name dropping, but I'm not name dropping. Like, friends, I know friends that do cool things. It's just the way it is. I know cool people. Everybody I know does something cool every now and then. That's why I want to do cool things, because I want to live up to the coolness of my friends. I just gotta figure out what cool thing I'm gonna do. I mean, obviously I am the coolest. It's just I haven't outwardly like birthed my coolness that it is imperative for everyone to see. I know that I am the coolest, and you IDK have clearly keened on to the fact that I am the coolest. but it's not obvious to everyone, and eventually I need to make that apparent to everyone. Your best boy. Oh, why thank you. Why thank you. You know, it's obviously I hear that all the time, but it's good to hear. Besides, I gotta spread my peacock feathers every now and then, let people know that I am beautiful, that sort of thing. I gotta stay humble though, obviously. Sushi, dang. I'm starting to think I might be hungry. I don't know. Something's getting at my brain, telling me that food is a good idea. But I'm gonna go here a little bit longer for sure. I don't wanna pop off just yet. I do such short streams, and I do apologize for that. I feel like I should sit down and do like a full 8-hour stream regularly, and I have done that before. In fact, I did that when I was doing Luigi's Mansion a while back. But I also work 5 days a week and have to get real life stuff done here and there, and I will get really disappointed in myself if I do not accomplish a certain number of things, you know? You need that endorphin rush of, I did this thing that was necessary for my life. So it's hard to balance. It's real hard to balance that. How much do I need to make myself feel like I did something major today? I filed my taxes or whatever. I some kind of adulthood matter. You are beautiful. Gotta be more confident. I've got a weird mishmash of either 100% confidence or 100% self-doubt. It's just an interesting palette of confidence colors I've got going on here. Though, of course, positive reinforcement, always a good time. I 100% appreciate that. I feel like I need to check my party because I feel like yep, they've been hatched for who knows how long. Oh no! What have we done? What has science done? I do worry sometimes that perhaps I've been playing a little too much Pokemon in a burst, just playing a little bit more than I should be healthfully, mentally, because when they were talking about things, I kept hearing, medical terms. I'm like, is that a Pokemon? Golectomy, you say? Is that a Pokemon? That's certainly a Pokemon. I don't think Golek to me is actually a term, but that was the example that I made up in my brain meets. In fact, I don't think I remember any of the terms because they're medical terms, and it's one of those things that's just like, well, this has a meaning. I will remember it if it comes up again, but not right now. I think, I'm going to say like 15 minutes from now, it's going to hit 8 o'clock. I'm going to take a break, maybe make myself some food, maybe go to Walmart, that sort of thing. Something to make certain I have some amount of calories in me. I might come back on later. It might be a late night when I come back. And then I will give away that box of 5 IVs I've got sitting there, and then I'm gonna switch gears on here to start working on printing out some stuff for Christmas. Make some 6 IV stuff and some starters and some sword exclusive, shield exclusive, both. That way we have that box all set up. But right now I'm gonna keep doing circles. And then occasionally checking my Pokemon eggs. Oh, here we go. We've got a handful of eggs. I mean, I assume, I don't actually know how big a Sableye is comparatively. It's probably bigger than a handful. It's not looking good so far. These guys are all at best average. I mean, there might be one in there that has 6 IVs, so I'll check that afterwards, but it's not looking good. Ooh, we do. We have 1 6 IV. Nice. One is definitely better than none. Let's go ahead and drop that in there. Oh, and actually put eggs in my party. That is an important step in this process. How many boxes of eggs do I have? Nearly 3 at this point, so nice. Nice. That's an intro. Here we go. Some sweet, cybery, like old-timey cyberpunk style music. That's my style. I love it. That's my aesthetic. I'm actually super looking forward to Cyberpunk. I'm a little bit disappointed that it doesn't feel as like, I don't know, like Miami 80s cyberpunk, you know what I mean? As like the kind of cyberpunk I like, but I'm sure it will be a good addition to the genre. Also, I haven't really seen that much of it, so it could fit this aesthetic, but I have not seen it yet. Yeah, I like just the general like vaporwave, synthwave kind of music to drive around at night in the city. It's pretty comforting. Just feels right. Like you're driving around, the sun is setting. You got some aviators on, the windows down. You got an arm out. That's the aesthetic, man. That's the aesthetic. My long hair is flowing behind me. The convertible top is down. And then for a drastic change in tempo, we had back in my hometown, that area had a radio station that was actually like super random music, not like random like nonsensical, but it was all genres and all good music. And it was just genre whiplash. Like you'd hear Enya right next to Disturbed, next to like some little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll. Like, it went all over the place, and it was wonderful. But it was, the term coined by Crystal for sure was genre whiplash, where you're just like, that is not the next song I expected to hear, and I'm a little dizzy from it. I should probably see a doctor. Oh, I need to switch out my Pokemon. Yes. We did not have any... Oh, that's the wrong one. We did not have any 6 IV. Disappointing, but not the end of the world. I also definitely appreciate a good use of jazz piano, which is I thought I was hearing a little bit of that earlier. It's off now, but I feel so chill with this beat. Yeah, it's a good relaxing beat. A lot of like good non-vocal music goes a long way to just having a nice relaxing evening. I have to be careful. I can't do a lot of relaxing music. I don't want anybody just like passing out in the middle of a stream, right? I would not be the first streamer to fall asleep in front of the camera, but I would not want to be one of them. I'm already pretty relaxed as it is, so you know, I don't need any help. Oh dear, now it's gotten even more relaxing. Now I'm concerned. What is going on? Oh! Oh! Hey. Eyes on Me. I did not expect to hear Eyes on Me on my playlist. I'm not even sure how I got there, but I'm not opposed. And it's a definite enjoyable piano solo of it, which makes sense because of the song in general being played on the piano in the game. I'm glad to hear I have a nice voice. That's good to hear. Also glad that I improved upon the microphone situation. That was a big issue for me when I was looking back on the playback and seeing that my microphone sounded real rough, and I was trying to figure out why. Turns out I had been using my webcam microphone the entire time, and that was bad. It was like low quality. Oh man, I should play through all of the Final Fantasies again. Even Final Fantasy 1, even though that's not really like the same thing I'm looking for when I play a Final Fantasy. That's more like a challenge to myself than an actual entertaining game. But I really like... It's been a long time since I've played through anything other than 6. 6 being my favorite Final Fantasy. So I feel like maybe it's about time that I just gave them all a good replay. Just play through them all. Are you still hatching? Yes, okay. I'm just gonna keep spinning. Maybe spinning is good luck. I really need to quit spinning into my chair. It's probably some of the source of the squeaking. Who knows? Stationary. We are stationary. I do have, actually, thinking of Final Fantasy, I have a copy of the MMO 14, I think, that I have never actually like loaded up. It's on Steam, so at some point I probably should try it out because it's super popular. It's like one of those things that was like labeled as a WoW killer. But at the time I was like super focused on World of Warcraft, so I never really got into it. Didn't even touch it. I'm not sure how I even got it, honestly. I think I got it as a gift, and then unfortunately never really tried it out. There's that John Whiplash. Alright, you know what? That's fine. I think this song is about those little dudes from the Sonic Adventure game. Those little Chowbellas. Oh. Have I? Yes, I did. I've gone into autopilot so many times that I'm just like, am I at the step in which I need to switch out my Pokemon for more eggs? No, not yet. Nope, but now I am. Oh shoot. I said I was gonna be stopping at 8, and it's 8:02 now. I'm gonna go one more revolution, see if we can get one more group of eggs to hatch. Unless this one's shiny. If this one's shiny, then I guess we're gonna. Aww. I mean, aw, as in it's not shiny. Obviously, that's a disappointment that it's not shiny. But I will be here for a little bit longer. It's looking like not shiny there, so we're just gonna move on. You guys get into the box. I had actually just finished up a box too, so it's a good time. And we'll do one more. We're gonna do one more, and I'm going to repeatedly press the wrong button. Let's put this entire thing into box 8 over here. I've got a lot of eggs. I like it. I like having all these extra eggs to prep myself for next time. We're gonna drop this into my party right now. We're gonna do another run around. This is going to be the last for right now. So, that being the case, we obviously have to get our hopes up that this last run that I'm doing is gonna be the one that results in a shiny Sableye. Gotta be like some kind of like get our hopes up, really just put our heart and soul into this. This is gonna be it. I mean, obviously, that being the case, I'm wasting my time getting all these eggs since I'm already going to have 100% chance a shiny in this group of eggs. This is something I should just let it happen. Let all the eggs hatch, but I keep grabbing these eggs nonetheless. I keep stopping myself. I'm making such good progress. In fact, I don't think I'm going to grab another egg after this. There's no point in it because one of these is going to be shiny. One of these 5 Pokemon that I'm currently running around in a circle in order to make them come out of the egg is going to be shiny when they come out of the egg to reward me for my patience. It's just the way of the world. It is exactly what's going to happen. It is defined by reality that this is going to happen. We're not worried about that egg you have, lady. It's not important. The ones that are important is the one in here that is shiny. Well, get that. Gotta start the hype beat right there. That's gonna be it. Alright. So, the first one, I mean, obviously, it's got as much chance as any of the others, so it's definitely gonna be this one. Okay, alright, that was... I gave it too much credit. Obviously, that was not it. But, there's 4 more to go. One of them's gonna be it. This one definitely is the one. Look at the way it cracks. That's the shiny crack. It's specific to shinies. That's how that happens. That, obviously, it's very similar, so it's easy to mistake. And I mistook. It is a regular. That's not it. But the next one, the third one, is 3 number of power. That's how many Triforces there are, I think, unless you like consider like the first game where they broke into 9 pieces, 1 to each dungeon. So I guess that means that the third one is not in fact particularly powerful and was just a normal. The fourth one, 4, is I think usually a good number for an RPG party, so that makes it like a good number. But not obviously Pokemon party. Pokemon, you got 6, and I only have 5 eggs, so that's not going to be the defining factor. But the 5th one, the final one, the ultimate, It's not penultimate because the penultimate is the one before last. This was the ultimate. I keep mistaking the word penultimate to mean last, but it doesn't actually mean last. And in this case, ultimate, like Smash Brothers Ultimate, is a different game and therefore not Pokemon and therefore not shiny. But there are Pokemon characters in it. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking there. But I do know that that wasn't shiny. And so, we must continue our shiny journey at another time. For now, thank you for joining me. Thank you, IDK. Much appreciate you coming to my streams and hanging out with me. And for those of you watching in the backlogs, also appreciate you guys. Thank you. See you next stream, and good luck, have fun.